Folks, I'm going to talk to you today about VHS 85, aka the newest horror tradition. So VHS 85 is much like the other VHS movies, if you've ever seen them. There's not really a through line throughout the entire series. It's more like each movie is its own independent cluster of specials that are too gruesome for TV, but nowhere near enough to fill out an entire film, at least not potentially. That said, VHS 85, I guess the through line technically would be this documentary about this alien creature thing that's trying to evolve into something more, whereas we get miniature segments throughout each one. This one in particular has some brutal segments, one I don't really care for, but there's some interesting stuff here. For one, we have a boat trip that goes wrong with, a bunch of teenage kids out on a boat, water skiing in the 1980s, when they get sniped one by one, and it turns out somehow the water allows them to survive. Damn. We get an earthquake, which is mid. It ends up being this like dark ritual, which fair enough, I guess. We also get the other half to that boat story, whereas it turns out we think it's a 15th birthday or like a quinceañera, because they're like, oh, it's time for you to become a woman now. No, it turns out that girl, the one that they're celebrating that birthday of, turns out she was the fucking sniper in the boat story, and the cops have come to collect. In addition to that, we get this great story of a serial killer whose VHS tapes are being sent into the cops, but then later on, the crime is committed. And it's like, how the fuck is this thing telling the future? Which I find really interesting. That maybe could have been a movie by itself. But overall, this whole film, it doesn't look expensive, and I don't mean that in a knock. Oh wait, there's also one really great story about a god that lives in the virtual world, which, I mean, if you really think about it, it makes sense. If there's a god in our world, wouldn't there be one in the other? Kind of makes sense. That said, though, these specials are meant to be showcase pieces. They're meant to be segments for directors to show this is what I can do. Maybe even, perspective ideas of, hey, this could turn into an entire show. Which, I don't hate it. VHS is very, I'm saying niche. Not every horror fan is going to enjoy every single episode or every single VHS. That said, this one, maybe in the top half. I still think VHS 99 may have been better than this one. If nothing more, it's a lot more brutal. Also, I really like the vampire segment in that one. But that said, VHS 85 is a worthy contender. It's, I think, becoming a yearly tradition with Shudder that I enjoy. I really did look forward to this one, and I'll be looking forward to the next one that they've already confirmed. This is 3 years running now. Hopefully we can make it 4 and more. Honestly, gold stars, everyone. Y'all did a great job, and I really hope that this horror tradition continues. As far as cons are concerned, maybe the only one I can really say straight up is the fact that there's no through-line villain throughout the entire series. Every single VHS is to be watched in its entirety on its own. It's an individual package. Which again, isn't necessarily a bad thing. I don't hate the idea of there maybe being a through line that we're able to find through. Maybe MatPat's been giving me too many ideas from film theory, but if there's like a little bit of story in each one to connect everything, it's not the worst idea in the world. Just saying. That said, VHS, B-, definitely harmless, not as good as 99, but still solid nonetheless. But anyway, that said, what did you think? Go ahead and comment down below, we'd really appreciate it, and we'll catch y'all later. We'll see everyone.